All right, we're live. What's up? It's Chris. You're tuned in for another episode of Just For My People, and we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Queen Ravenden, and it is an honor to be here with Chris Carr.
Yay, good to have you. And so we're going to be talking about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about herbs and revitalizing and managing anxiety and getting our immune systems boosted. So before we get into all that, though, I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself and let people know what you do and what you're going to be talking about today.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, what don't I do? I'm a human like every one of us who breathes and moves and communicates and blinks and expands and is completely infinite. But in profession definitions, I am a performer, I'm an aerialist, I am a board certified holistic health practitioner, I am a creative arts therapist, I'm a dance movement therapist, I am an herbalist, I am a healer all around, a spiritual guide, and we're going to be talking about all of those different things, mostly like making sure that you're centered, reducing anxiety, and also what herbs you can take to do some of those things and to boost your immune system as we're trying to stay healthy throughout this winter season and throughout our lives.
Yeah. And so what brought you into being a healer? Is that something that you've always been drawn to? Or is that something like kind of early on in life you realized you had a capacity for?
There is a beauty in healing yourself. And once you find yourself in balance, but your community is out of balance, there was this drive to want to help to bring my people into balance. And I think that that's why I'm here right now sharing this with you.
That's dope. And then how do you merge these different elements of what you're doing? Like you do a movement and kind of healing through activity, as well as then the understanding of plants and understanding of like kind of utilizing the herbs. How does this all come together for you?
Well, we know that we are comprised of so many different elements. We have fire, water, earth, air, and we are all of these different things. Simultaneously, we are also mind, body, spirit. And so you can't heal one part without the other. So they already naturally overlap, infuse, merge, dance together. So if one part of your body is out of balance, then you could bring that into balance. But if you have like some like spiritual like necessities that you aren't gravitating towards, that aren't coming your way, we need to heal that part too. And if your mind is completely stressed out all the time and you can't even enjoy the moment because you're so stressed out about what's going to happen in the next moment, then we need to work on that too. So it's different for everybody, and I love that I can alter my work to help people at different parts of their journey.
Yeah. And in terms of now, right, time of COVID, anxiety is high. You know, people have not been in the sun much, not so active. And so how do we then boost the immune system? Like how do all these things kind of relate into this holistic healing to keep ourselves healthy this winter?
I think one of the biggest things you said was that we aren't outside and we aren't getting fresh air. And those are two of the basic needs that we as humans need, is sunlight and fresh air. So I would recommend getting some sunlight, like seeing the sun. I live in the basement apartment, so I don't see the sun in my apartment. So I always have to get outside. I say at least 30 minutes every day, take a walk, go somewhere where you can be away from people and take your mask off and take some deep breaths. Because since we're walking around with our mask on, we're not being able to take in as much oxygen, as much healing breath as we can. We know that this is an exchange of energy. When you breathe in, you're taking in new energy, and it allows you to breathe out old energy that you no longer need. And part of that breathing out is going to be the anxiety that we're holding on to. So we want to be able to take deep breaths. So those are two of the most important things. Everything else is just kind of icing on the cake. So we can talk about herbs that are going to help to reduce anxiety. We can talk about herbs that help to boost the immune system. But the first things are what's actually just tangible. And that is going outside, taking fresh air. because it's for you. Not even taking what's yours. Your air is for everyone. You know, outside is for everyone. This is a basic need, and we all deserve it. So get as much as you can.
And for you, are there particular regimens or particular herbs or things that you specifically have been working with in the past 6 or 7 months and kind of adapting or adjusting to this time of COVID?
Yes, I believe that a lot of us are really focusing on like how not to get sick. So a lot of my work has been teaching and feeding the minds of people on the different herbs that regulate the immune system, so help to balance it and like gradually increase its potency. And then what helps to stimulate the immune system when you're sick and you just need to like get over this illness quickly, like reduce the severity and make sure it subsides so that you can rebalance yourself out. So we're talking about immunomodulators and immunostimulants. So immunomodulators, you're going to take them over a long period of time. So this is going to be like your astragalus, your ginseng, your like licorice, holy basil, which is tulsi, like shiitake mushrooms. These are things that you can like make soups out of, like astragalus and shiitakes. You can make broth and add it to different foods. And these are really good to help to, like over longer periods of time, build up the strength of your immune system.
Can you
So
go
these
through
are going
some
to
of
work
those?
in the...
Can you go through
Oh,
some
go
of those
ahead.
again? Like you know them so
Yeah,
well. So can you give like a little breakdown,
absolutely.
licorice and shiitakes, and can you go through that?
Yeah, so immunomodulators, these are going to help to balance and to strengthen your immune system. And you can take these over a prolonged period of time. So you can take these essentially every day, and they are going to continuously build up your immune system. So I named astragalus, I named licorice, I named ginseng, I named shiitake mushrooms and licorice. So some herbs you can eat, like ginseng is something you can chew on. Astragalus is going to come in something like it's a bark, so it's going to come in a tongue compressor shape, and it's very fibery, so you can put it in your soups and in your broths and let it simmer over time. And you can also add your shiitake mushrooms in there too, and your reishi mushrooms, and you can make broths that simmer for say like a whole day. And then you can freeze your broth, you can put them in like ice cubes, and then you can add these broths to all your different meals throughout the winter. And these will help to continuously build up your immune system slowly over time. It has a nice balancing effect. Does that make sense?
Totally. And stuff that like
Awesome.
I guess give you a baseline kind of level of protection or like just a general well-being, right?
Absolutely. So this is if you're not sick and you are just preparing. So I like to take preventative measures, right? So we don't want to wait until we're sick to start taking herbs and doing whatever you need to do because you're feeling terrible. Like we want to help build up our immune system so it's ready to fight so that we don't get sick. And these immunomodulators are going to help to do that.
Now, let's say you are doing your best to stay healthy, but then you end up actually under the weather and not feeling so well. What are some of the stimulators?
Yes, so immunostimulants, this is their A game. This is when they're ready to come in, fight, and they're like, what, you're sick? Like we're about to like, they do exactly what it says. They stimulate the immune system. So it's like they're like very short-lived, but it's very potent. And what it helps to do is it builds resistance to the strength of the infection. So if you're sick, it's going to reduce how long you are sick, and it's also going to reduce the severity of the sickness. So these are your echinaceas, like everybody talks about echinacea. We're talking about like elderberry. Elderberry is a big thing. So like elderberry honeys, elderberry syrups. Some people have like elderberry like gummy vitamins. Like these are what you want to take when you are feeling sick. You don't want to take these when you are okay over a prolonged period of time, because if you get sick and you want to take them, they're not going to work because your body is becoming, there's just like adjusting to them. So these are the, I'm sick, I need to come in with the fighters. So that's
Okay.
your echinaceas, your elderberries, your spilanthes as well, which is an herb, so you can make it in a tea. And also garlic is also immunostimulant. So that's going to come in. That's why people take a lot of garlic when they're feeling sick. And it's kind of like right in the middle because it's a food. So we're very much used to eating it. So it helps to balance out. And if we're sick, it's going to stimulate the immune system to help us get healthy.
Now, how much do you use, or how do you know dosing?
Ooh, so dosing is based off of weight usually. So it's really easy to say if you're taking a tea, you can do 1 teaspoon per cup 3 times a day, right? But if you're sick, you might want to take more. So you could do 1 teaspoon per cup 5 times a day. Whereas with immunomodulators, there's, it's also, these are things that are easily ingestible. So you can kind of regulate them as you please. So you're not really going to take too much you're not going to take too much like astragalus, or you're not going to take too much ginseng because it's very expensive and it's something you want to hold on to over time. But a safe spot to go is 1 teaspoon per cup 3 times a day.
And that's when you're dealing with more the stimulation or trying to boost the immune system, or is that just across the board?
Across the board. And if you're sick, I would welcome you to taking more. Okay. I think if you're taking 6 cups a day, I think that's like a good max.
With any of
but
these
when
items,
you're sick, you want to take more.
Are there anywhere you have to be careful not to take too much?
Nothing that I've told you about. I wouldn't share those on your video feed just because I'd be concerned if somebody's like, oh, Queen told me this was good, so I'm gonna just start going in on it. But there definitely are herbs where you don't want to take too much because it might also, because herbs have so many herbal actions. Like one herb might be an emetic, which means it helps you puke. Like if you're really sick, you need to get something out of your stomach, it'll help you puke. But it might also help to boost the immune system. But if you take too much, it's gonna make you puke. So I'm not gonna share those with you today. So I'm kind of sharing like the easy baseline, like generally friendly for most people and safe to use and consume to take care of your own body, because it's good to know.
And if people wanted to learn more about that, how could they learn from you or like kind of hit you up for info?
Absolutely. The easiest place to hit me up is on Instagram. And I've just begun because I've been reaching out to people and I'm asking, what do you want to learn? What do you need from me? And people have been saying, tell us about the herbs that you use. So I'm going to be posting a lot more videos and talking to people about what herbs they can use for different health concerns. And you can also DM me. I'm always on Instagram.
What's your Instagram again?
My Instagram is my name, Queen Ravenden, like a raven in a den.
Okay, and so now that we know what some of our options are, can you give me a little bit more background in the sense of how you even view this holistic process, right? Like the idea of it's not just in my mind, okay, you eat these plants, or it's not just this process of when I'm sick, I'll do something. In general, it seems like it ties into more of a way of life of kind of utilizing these herbs in conjunction with other things like movement, or in conjunction with kind of a certain understanding of energy exchange. Can you give me a little background on that?
Yes, I believe that's going in so many different directions. So we could dive in so many different places, but the idea is that it's not just going to be taking in herbs that's going to keep you from getting sick, right? We know that motion is lotion. So when we move, we're healing the joints, which is also, when we move, we're also releasing energy, and we're releasing emotions that we're holding on to. We're increasing our circulation, which helps blood to flow through our veins. And this blood is also flushing toxins out of our body. When we're drinking water, we're healing through the water. So when we bathe in water, we're healing. When we're drinking water, we're healing. And that flow of water is also going to be our flow of energy. It's going to be our flow of creativity. So using all of the different elements for our healing, because they are all part of us. So when we say that the earth is 70% water and 30% land, give or take a couple percentages, right? And humans are also 70% water and 30% solids, but we're eating 70% and drinking water 30%, then we're not in balance with the earth. We're not in divine timing with the different elements that we need to have. So incorporating everything, everything's for our healing. The movement, the air, being out in the earth, taking the sunlight, making sure that our hearts are as light as a feather, Ma'at principle, right? And all of these different things, and finding what language it is for you that speaks to your well-being.
I love it, the collective work. For the people out there, again, this has been Just For My People. We've been talking with Queen Raven Den, and check out on Instagram, it is Raven Den.
Queen Raven Den on Instagram.
Queen Raven Den on Instagram. Check out the website, and come see us when we're allowed to do stuff together, you know, and we can all perform again. Make sure in person, let's all link and show
Inspire.
love.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. You enjoy your evening.
You too. Give thanks. Thank you so much.